Thank you. That's what I wanted to know.
We've got a new title sequence for this. It's something we used for the old Vidipog. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. I'm Siobhan, and to that side of me is Dr. Sinister.
Hello.
Yes. Sorry, but we had to, quite frankly. With luck, we'll tell you things that you wanted to know.
No. What could we say that people might have wanted to know?
Okay, hang on a moment. What specifically about Genesis of the Daleks?
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Why do you tell them about the paint on the Daleks?
Yes, it's just not the best colour. I'm terribly sorry. No. First of all, it looks like they've been given a spray of gloss emulsion or something, right? Planet of the Daleks, on the other hand, looked metallic, and they were dark. Very dark. I don't know what my hands are doing, but they were dark, and I love that. I really do.
You know, they constantly used to repaint the props, right?
Yes.
Did they just repaint over all the old paint? Do you think the Daleks were actually increasing in size over the years?
It's a thought, isn't it? Because even up to Remembrance, they were using the ones from the 60s.
Yeah.
Props from the... That's an interesting thought. Were they getting thicker and thicker and thicker very slowly? I mean, as an invasion tactic, it's slow, but people won't notice.
I bet you Daleks 63 to 88 will know.
I'll ask Gav. I'll ask him. And
Okay.
he'll take that sort of question very seriously indeed. Yes, he will.
Yes, if you know him, if you could ask and find out, I would actually genuinely like to know.
All right, I shall do this. I shall go on the Twitter and I shall ask him and say, Dr. Sinister asks.
Because I'm particularly thinking about Planet of the Daleks,
Yes.
grey and black, Death to the Daleks, silver, Genesis of the Daleks, grey and black.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, are we talking like layers and layers and layers and layers and layers of paint, or do they strip them down all the time?
Well, quite. I mean, hang on a second.
Fiberglass, isn't it?
Because I mean, that colour scheme started in Day of the Daleks, so one of the Daleks gets at least one extra coat because it was gold, and it had to be turned. Why are we having this conversation?
Because people wanted to know.
That's it.
See, no one should ever say that we don't provide value for.
And I will come back with Gav's answer on this.
Brilliant.
Oh, yes. So, yes, this is our live reaction to Genesis of the Daleks. It's not picture-in-picture. Basically, hit the DVD play button when we say, and just play us in the background as you watch the DVD.
Episode 3 we're on now.
Yes.
Sarah has just fallen off of a big gantry thing that she's climbing, trying to escape the fouls, and there's no way she can possibly survive.
If only there was some sort of, I don't know, bizarre topography change.
Yes.
You know?
Oh, and we were in film, weren't we?
Yes, we were. We were in Filmland.
We were in Filmland and not VCR Video Land. And also the Doctor and Harry were escaping in a cave.
Yes, character options. I want that clam. I'm just saying.
Right, that's the introduction, everybody. So you're all caught up now.
Yeah, no excuses. And quite frankly, if you are watching this before you've watched Genesis of the Daleks,
Spoilers.
Show him the T-shirt. Just show them the T-shirt.
Blue today.
Quite frankly, I'm sorry, but you know. Right.
Last week I was wearing Terence, which was green.
Yes, she's Terence.
This week it's Atlantis, which is blue.
Why is Atlantis blue?
It's underwater.
I asked a fucking stupid question.
I thought you were going to ask me which version of Atlantis it was.
Oh, God. That's a point. Yeah. Your T-shirt currently has 3 fates awaiting it, all at the same time.
Yes. This is the one that was destroyed by the demons.
Oh, right. Good. wouldn't want a Chronivore or Professor Zaroff getting their noses put out of joint, would we? Dear. Hang on a second. I need to recover from that. Right. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're watching this on the UK version of BritBox. Now, we've clicked to start it, and we've had the BritBox logo play.
Bing,
and now we're on right at the very start of the title sequence for episode 3 of Best Pointed Out, the Genesis of the Daleks, just in case you'd forgotten. So as soon as we press play, it'll start. That's the theory, anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Can I point out
yes, please.
The BritBox description says, classic science fiction, which may be scary for younger children, contains scenes of violence.
Considering what we've seen so far in Genesis of the Daleks, that's quite mild.
Yeah, well, I mean, we almost get a double genocide here, don't we?
Yeah. Yeah, we certainly get well, to all intents and purposes, one genocide with the Thals. And I'm going to be honest with you, the Khaleds are gone. It is a double genocide. The only survivors are the Daleks and the Thals.
A few Thals, yeah.
God, they must have had inbreeding problems. Probably explains the trousers.
It does. Holes. Holes in it. Yeah.
See, we deal with these topics so you don't have to. Right, shall we make a start?
So, are you... yes, I'm ready to go.
Okay, you better ask something.
Pardon?
You were about to ask something.
I've forgotten what it was.
Oh, right, fair enough, I'm like that. Okay, now, according to this thing, it's at 0000.
Yes.
Okay, good. So, I'm going to say 3, 2, 1, go. And then when I say go, that's when you click on your thingy.
Okay. Yes.
So, 3, 2, 1, go.
It's beginning.
It is. It is. Look at that huge
why
light.
has the TARDIS got no writing on one of the panels, by the way?
I'm not sure. And also the light on it. It's like a dollop of something. I do like that crossfade.
Yes.
You used a couple of tricks to make it so effective, like making the Doctor's picture negative. I remember years later on Newsnight, a few years ago, they did a similar thing, but they put Boris Johnson in.
Yes.
But they did it with exacting detail. It was...
they must have a Doctor Who fan in the production.
I would have
team.
thought so. Oh, hang on a second.
Yes.
Didn't she have to do this last week as well?
Yeah, unfortunately, they
oh dear.
You get this quite a lot in Doctor Who. They have to refilm it every week.
All the Bonos are firing up at her. Pay your
More ammo
tax.
they're wasting.
It's the Khaled soldier.
See the gloves. Told you, he's got Kringless gloves. That's
Yes.
why he flips.
You see, you know about these things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, he looks a bit clean when he lands there.
Well, I think they pushed the envelope as far as they could.
Here's an interesting thought, right?
Yes, please.
What colour are Dalek mutants?
Oh, that's interesting.
It's sort of green, aren't they?
Well, they're green/blue. Oh no, Sarah's fallen.
Oh my God, she's never going to get out of that.
No. What?
The point.
She falls on outside of the gantry.
With a big bar that would have broken her neck in the way. Right. The point I was making was...
They're sort of bluish in the new series and green in the old series.
Okay. Does that mean the Khaleds have got green blood?
Okay, where are you going with this?
Well, he's fallen off the gantry. I would have liked to have seen a bit of splatter.
I walked straight into that. I really did. I walked straight into that.
I'd say these guys... no wonder they're losing the war. They can't shoot.
It's not just that. That's what they consider to be a rocket coat.
Are we still in film land? We are, aren't we?
We are in film land, yeah. We're in Ealing.
So, see the lights in the background?
Yeah, first time I've ever noticed that.
I've always wondered, is that the city beneath them, do you think?
I would have thought so, yes.
Okay, fair enough. She's doing a very good job of breathing hard there. She's a bloody good actress.
Well, she had to climb all the way up to the top of a rocket.
On film, no less.
Yes. Indeed.
Everyone knows that you move slower on film than
Right.
on video.
Now we get to the problem in their plan.
Okay.
Now what the fuck do they do?
Well, exactly. I mean, basically, they were trying to get to the top of the Millennium Dome.
Because, I mean, fine, they say they can get out onto the top of the dome. But how the hell are they going to get down? Unless there are safety ladders around, just in case.
Yeah. I mean...
And why wouldn't those safety ladders be guarded?
Well, you'd have to one. Otherwise, it'd be a good way in for the car leads. Yeah.
Gunshot.
Yeah. Come on, back down here.
I'm being tough. I'm being paid equity minimum, but I'm going
On
to be
the
tough.
on the album, that's a very it stops there.
Yes, you're right.
You don't get this little scene that's coming up, which I think actually this is. I always forget this is here. Do you know what I mean? This bit.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I do. I remember. But the thing is, I've also got the book going in my head.
Okay.
So I've got Terence's stuff going through, like when this bit where he twists the arm and she falls, being a sadist. I've got, so I remember that from the book. It's towards the beginning of next week's episode, we're gonna be halfway through the album. I sent Sarah and Harry into there. Yes.
Yeah, that also throws me as well when that doesn't happen at the end of an episode. It's kind of that confuses the hell out of me.
Yeah, it's very understandable. Dear. Meanwhile, back in Clamland.
Yeah. Spoilers.
Clamland, it's next door to Poundland. They're very shellfish in there. Oh! I'm so sorry. Just ignore me. Just ignore me.
Just think how manky the end of that scarf gets.
Look, it's a Colin the Clam.
With a dramatic zoom.
Yes. Wasn't a crash
does...
zoom, though, you notice.
No, but it does nothing. Harry, you fool.
You numbskull, you... What? But then again, if that's the Mark I travel machine...
I don't think it is the Mark I travel machine.
Do you know I got myself a clam pillow for my electric wheelchair?
Okay.
Because that's the Mark I travel machine. Go on, you swing that papier-mâché rock.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's pulling down the tights.
It's pulling his app, apparently.
Don't be careful with that because it will snap. It's only plastic.
Shh. Oh, loud sucking, according to this. Magna pylorus.
So it's a Latin clam.
It's a Latin clam.
Interesting.
I want to know what that means now.
Magna pylorus.
Yeah.
Magna must mean large.
Possibly.
Large mouth.
Hang on. You carry on watching Doctor Who.
Okay.
I'll do the Google thing.
Okay.
Do the Google thing. All right, hang on a second.
So,
and it was just Polaris, what, like the missile?
Pylorus. Pelloris, I think. Oh, multiple Daleks.
Your commands.
Now the voice is right.
Oh. Right, hang on. The first thing that comes up, believe it or not, is TARDIS Wiki.
Oh, okay. Here's an interesting thing I've got to say, by the way. I've got a friend of mine who's found a replica of the lighter that Ian used in Doctor Who and the Daleks, the movie.
Yes.
And he's bidding for it at the moment on an auction site.
Has it got a little dent where a door's kept hitting it?
It's made by Ronson. The foul spy, Ronson.
Arch traitor, I think you'll find.
Yes.
Oh. No, I can't find it.
Oh, well. We'll look it up afterwards.
Okay, let's get back to Doctor Who.
And the plastic men.
Yes. Oh, dear. Let's hope nobody noticed them having a talk.
He was in between the lines, wasn't he?
No, it's Nida. Yes, I think he was. Oh. And I wonder if it's the same guy who was in Logopolis. Is Tom Gregson? I don't know.
I can't remember.
Look at that little ethics map.
Yeah.
What was that with General Melchett?
So this is
a 1-to-1 scale.
This is the leader of the Khaleds, who has got a moustache, funnily enough.
Councillor Morgan, yes. Mogran,
yeah.
Mogran, there we go. Thank you, Lieutenant. Gruber, that's it.
And as I think
here's the thing you pointed out last week.
They don't question.
No, they don't.
No. I think it would have been funny if the general had said, "This is the council, by the way," and it wasn't. It was just a bunch of guys in a lunatic asylum they'd brought in. 1,000 generations, 25,000 years.
That moustache is very serious.
Yes.
Dear me. I find that interesting. How has the Doctor managed to get that much information about Davros straight off? Unless Ronson's been blabbing to him.
We don't know how much time's passed. It's possible that, maybe they've accessed some records somewhere. I mean, this is at least Sarah's
Big Finish
second shift, at least. So I don't know. I mean, it's probably taken them a day or two to cross. I don't know. It's a good question.
She needs rest. Oh, bless her.
When that's packed aboard, we'll pack you inside with the explosives, and then you can rest.
Oh, there's a gun there.
There is.
He's not wearing his Iron Cross. He's improperly dressed.
He is. It does appear later on, though.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
You know why the Dalek gun sticks are bent that way, don't you? The outer bits.
Yeah.
Go on.
Quite simply because they've forgotten to put the middle slats in, the middle circular bits to hold it up.
Well, apparently the BBC stagehands used to just drag the Dalek props around and would just grab the gun stick
and break it,
and would just bend them in.
Oh man, right? Yeah.
Allegedly.
That makes sense.
Impossible.
Yes. Ooh, it's getting tough on them. Now, he doesn't look at all worried, does he?
No. Just don't act at all suspicious.
No. That's cool.
I will deal with him.
I love this. This Davros is so scheming, far more than other Davroses we've seen.
Oh, yes.
Clop. A decision. Oopsies. And the councils are a fool. Ooh, that's been changed in the subtitles. Subtitles are, to be fair, they're behaving themselves this week.
Better than last week's.
Yes. Which was glorious, quite frankly.
Is less than I'd hoped for.
Oh, we're almost spot on here. In sync, I mean.
That's good.
That's the first. You're going to have to try and sabotage that somehow. I'm not certain you understand, but... Oh, yeah.
I know that we haven't really got time for this, and it doesn't really add much to the story, but I would have loved to have seen more of the Thal and the Khaled city and the conditions that people were living in, having to cope with the war and all that kind of thing, you know?
It's an interesting thought. It is an interesting thought. Now, there was a big finish.
Thick, reinforced concrete.
There was a big finish which was essentially the plot, the original plot for the Daleks. with the Thals and the Daleks being manipulated by an outside force to fight against each other.
Yes.
And I don't know if that addressed it.
Now, here's the thing. This substance, which has the strength of 30-foot thick reinforced concrete.
Yes.
How many coatings do you think they put on?
And will it get thicker? That's what we want to know. Well, to be fair, they don't have much time to do it. Again, time in this is a little bit wibbly-wobbly. Oh, I don't know why I'm saying that.
I'm assuming the coating is already there and has been for a while, but if you apply another coating, does that add another equivalent of 30
Sorry,
feet?
I was mixing that up with the actual foul stuff. Sorry, I'm wrong. Ignore me.
Davros is very reasonable in this scene.
And of course, they naturally accept it.
Yes.
With a serious moustache.
Yes. All work
It will be difficult. It's interesting. That's a counterpoint to Nida back in the second episode, or the first episode. I'm not sure. I can't remember. When he's telling Ronson the stuff's been countersigned by Davros, it has to be there. It specifies midnight.
Yes.
Davros the diplomat.
Well,
how many has he killed so far?
To get there.
Again,
Many.
Davros from Big Finish.
Many.
Just get it and listen to it.
Absolutely. Cannot recommend it highly enough.
Nida is completely in on this.
Mm-hmm. He is unquestionably loyal.
He's the best henchman the series has ever seen.
I agree. I can and will.
The council has signed the death. Only we and the Daleks will go on. The whole of the Khaled people.
You would go
that far. Shall we stop this now? Michael, we should never bet it. I'm sorry. I love the others, but
it's very cold though. Davros says, "Did you ever doubt it?" And Nigel just says, "No." He
just shows the sort of mind he has. I mean, they're both psychopaths.
Absolutely, they are well suited to each other.
Yeah. The question is, how long before one of them stabs the other one in the back? Maybe they wouldn't.
I don't think Nida ever would have done.
You know what we need to do? We need to get on a psychologist here.
Yes.
To sort of find out the relationship between him and Davros. Apart from obviously clearing out the waste disposal.
Sycophant and yeah.
I like that. The guy just didn't even know. Oh, they're off. Bye-bye.
Nida, in my mind, is a bit of a Rudolf Hess sort of character. Yeah. You know, blindly loyal.
Here comes another bit I remember from the book and the album. Oh, we'll see that corridor again.
Yes, we will.
I remember somebody writing to the DWM asking if the columns here were the same as the Master's TARDIS.
Well, they do look very TARDIS-ish. Well, if you imagine the Davison TARDIS interior, they look kind of similar to that.
Well, no, I think he's talking the exterior, the Master's pillar, which it wasn't ionic. Yeah. It wasn't ionic. It was something else. And I am no longer influenced by words such as patriotism and nationalism. Seen and heard this too many times.
Yeah.
Why don't they just capture him? They get the formula, then they just grab him.
I have to say, I think
he's taken a huge risk.
Absolutely. I think I know they've been fighting for 1,000 years, but yeah. I don't think war comes naturally to the Thals. I don't think it occurred to them to stab him in the back.
Well, the Thals were the warriors originally.
Not in my mind. In my mind, the Khaleds were the aggressors.
The Khaleds were teachers. But then, again, there's the Dals, which were known, which essentially was, they were the teachers. So we don't know about the Khaleds. And as we know, the Dals lost in the first century of the war. Take the formula, hold on to Davros and Nida, torture the hell out of them,
Unless Davros has made contingency plans and has said, "Look, I want to come and see you under a flag of truce, and if you betray me, I will utterly destroy you."
Possibly, yeah. But he hasn't got the 20 Mark III travel machines with carded mutants prepared yet, and he hasn't prepared the limiting tape.
No.
I should prepare a tape with limiting rings or something. By dawn tomorrow, our world could be at peace. Oh, Michael Wisher, you're just so good.
Yes.
Look at that. Not a chair wobble. Not a single chair wobble.
No, none of this.
He transfers it all up into the microphone, which just wobbles like that.
It's the way he says, "Night." It's a very sexual relationship.
Not sure how, but hey, if it suits you, fair enough. I'd like to say as long as it doesn't hurt anybody else, but knowing you two.
Now, presumably he didn't trundle across the wasteland. There must be, like, secret passageways or something.
Must be, to be fair, yes. Unless he's got some sort of vehicle.
Well, yes, of course.
This is one of my favourite bits. Excuse me, could you help me? I'm a spy. Oh, he's knocking the heads together thing. That's where it started. Finishes off in Keeper of Traken when he does it with 3 heads.
When he walks in,
what's annoying me?
Go on.
We're nearly towards the end of this.
Yes.
That's what's annoying me.
Oh.
It's gone very quickly.
It does go quickly. Will burn us up.
They're doing very tired acting.
Yes.
Oh,
and it doesn't matter what Tom Baker wears. He could be dressed as a mummy in the pyramids of Mars, and you know it's him.
Yes, frankly. That man can't wear clothes naturally.
No.
Ooh, dear me. Solar plexus.
Now, does that knock someone out?
Well, he's got no breath. He's completely winded, and I've been winded a couple of times before, and no, you're not able to do anything.
Okay. All right.
Because you can't breathe. You're waiting for your lungs to readjust. It's going to be a high-pitched noise soon.
Oh, yes. Anyone on headphones?
Yeah, be prepared. Now, wearing this, he looks like Ecclesley from Monster of Peladon.
You've nothing to lose but your claims. Oh, no, that's another story.
That's the Sunmakers.
Yes.
Oh. Well, thank heavens that wasn't guarded.
Mm-hmm. Down you pop.
Bye-bye.
What happened to everyone else?
That is a very fair point, my friend.
Screw those mutos. Severin there, you can come with us. And this rocket is not at all made out of plywood. I'd just like to stress that point.
No. That's a real rocket. You can tell it's a real rocket because they use the same footage of it launching in the following story, Revenge of the Cybermen. My Sky Striker, my glory.
I've been to Voga.
Oh, here comes part 1 of the noise.
Yes.
And here's part 2.
Isn't it handy that control panel was on the floor?
It's amazing, isn't it? Doctor Who was played by Tom Baker. Did you know that?
Never heard of him.
Wow. All right, I can turn this off now. There we go. Well, that's been our reaction to part 3 of Genesis of the Daleks. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I know I certainly did. Did we cover anything, did we do anything that could have explained something, could have helped answer something, informed people? Did we mention anything that, because, last Sunday on the Flash and Blade, we invented a whole new Olympic sport.
Okay.
Podcasting.
Oh, interesting.
You have 2 teams of podcasters with the net in the middle. You chuck you've got to chuck the subject over the net, and it's got to be fielded by the other side. They have to talk about it. There's points given because it's a judged competition.
Well,
there are points given for bringing in new topics, for going off on random things. It's
this actually does lead me into an area of some thought. There's one so I was saying this to my wife yesterday. You have you have things on the water in the Olympics, and you have things on the ground in the Olympics. There's nothing in the air.
Arrows,
clay pigeons,
some BMX bikes.
So I've got two ideas here for a new Olympic sport. Firstly, drone flying, racing. Secondly, and I think this is the more important one, because the Olympics, if I'm right, the sport has to be something that's done on every continent, right?
I should think so. That sounds right.
So I think they should have a round of war.
What you could do is you could have the various countries put in their claims if they win, and if they do win, they get. And then 4 years later,
there's two ways you could do this.
The trouble is, then you get a Commonwealth Games version of the war. All right, then there's the local track events.
Then there's the World Championships. Well, there's two ways you could do this.
Okay.
First of all, you go in with the full in. You set aside, 10 square kilometers of space, and each side can spend a certain number of points on an army, and they just thrash the hell out of each other.
Can you use all your points for a nuclear weapon?
Yes.
There you go then. Each match will be a draw, to be fair.
Obviously, this will make the chase for hosting the Olympics somewhat controversial.
True. And just imagine how difficult it will be for the presenters and the pundits.
However, there is a second option. And you're going to be covering this in the next few weeks or so. The Blake 7 episode Death Watch.
I know of what you speak.
Yes.
Yes. Another bloody Tarrant. Yes, that'll be interesting to see what the boys think of that, if I'm honest with you. I like to sort of pop in moral things for them, where they right, where they wrong, something like that.
It reminds me actually of that Star Trek episode, A Taste of Armageddon. You remember the one? Where the Enterprise materialize on this planet that's told them to go away, and they get declared casualties of a war.
Yes.
And the Enterprise crew are looking at each other as if to say, "What the hell are you talking about? There's no war." And they're saying, "Oh no, this entire sector's been destroyed, and your spaceship. You're going to have to report for disintegration."
Yes, I remember that now.
Love that episode.
Yeah. Wonder why.
Because basically they can't. It's the same thing in Death Watch. The actual idea of a real war scares the hell out of them.
I still say if politicians want to go to war, they're the ones who've got to fight it.
Anyway, Olympic war, you could have different levels of this. You could have
going up to thermonuclear.
You could have platoon-based level, which would be like the equivalent of like the single rower, kind of thing.
Yeah.
You could have battalion.
Hang on a second. You say single rower. Why not match that off with a sniper?
Oh, interesting. Okay. Yes. Conducted over a week. Then you could have battalion level, and you're allowed to bring in armored vehicles and fighter jets and that kind of thing, and cruise missiles. It would have to be based on the coast, this whole event, obviously.
I'm guessing this. Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then you could basically have division level, which is where, if you choose, you can bring in one nuclear weapon. But that, you see, you'd have to make sure it was aimed pretty damn good, or otherwise, you might end up spending all your points on something that doesn't actually win you the battle.
Well, yeah, exactly. Your intel would have to be shit hot.
Exactly. Yeah, but that would be my proposal. It's a sport that we're all very good at. It's conducted on every continent on the world, and frankly, when there is a war, we all watch it on the telly, don't we?
And there are pundits.
Yes,
and commentators.
there are. Yes,
Do you know what? I think you've got something there.
I think so.
I was going to contact the IOC about Olympic podcasting. Would you like me to just add this as well?
Oh yes.
Oh, okay then. Can't see myself getting
The,
locked up.
the
at
only
all.
the only thing that I do struggle with is awarding silver medals, because everybody will be dead.
Oh, that's as far as it has to go. It is a complete wipeout thing, is it?
It's annihilation.
Right,
Yes.
annihilation.
Now this does also make the heat and the heat levels a bit.
Hang on. What if you have more than 2 players? Because
ooh.
then you can work out the medals from who lasts the longest. Gold obviously being the ones that survive, silver being the last men standing until they got wiped out by the gold, and it's the same for bronze. Now, three teams, well, 3 battalions going up against each other.
Interesting idea.
And then
no alliances allowed.
that's where I was coming. You could play your Joker, and you could include diplomacy.
Right. I think you've stumbled upon something here.
Righty-ho.
I think this is how the war on Skaro started out.
Well, it's a knockout.
It was an Olympic sport and it got out of hand. No one knows how the war started.
I dare the next showrunner to put that in. I double dare whoever it is to put that in.
That'd be amazing.
Yes. We'll be talking about, obviously, the Doctor Who news on Sunday night with the Flashing Blade live. That starts at 9 p.m. UK time, and that's 4 p.m. In Eastern.
What is it in Tokyo time?
Yeah. It is something o'clock.
Okay.
And I'm just saying. So I'll get you for that. So
What about India? India's 5.5 hours ahead, so it won't be something o'clock.
That's just bloody awkward. I'm sorry, but it is. And hang on, who controls time here? We do. We've got the Greenwich Meridian. We own time. There we go.
We are the Time Lords.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far, love. I really wouldn't. Right, so Flash and Blade with Brian, Eddie, and Dr. Sinister, and possibly somebody else, we don't know. We'll be looking at The Mutants, the Doctor story. There's no big finish this week. The Doomwatch episode, The Islanders, and Blake 7 episode, Volcano. So there's that. And then next Wednesday, we've got the reaction to The Age of Steel. And next Friday, obviously, Genesis of the Daleks Part 4. However, that is subject to sudden change. Certain things have happened, and I mentioned it at the start of the last Flash and Blade, which means I can't be sure about our schedule. So we may miss a couple of things because I'm going to have to go away for a little bit. I'm not going to prison. It'll feel like it, but anyway. Right, yes. So, shall we say goodbye? Do I play us out? That's just it. Do I put a thing up to play us out?
Why not?
Okay, but what though? Oh, I know what we're going to do. Hang on a moment. Yep. Just as a gentle reminder, quite frankly, just to be wary. Goodbye. Say goodbye.
Bye.
One day I will get the right file. You know whose fault that was? Yeah, exactly.